Here's a very small spring hole, very little bitty spring, amidst all of this. And there's more springs up and down the creek. That's the only water that's in this creek right now is spring water. And that right there is going to kill our critters. If these things don't change pretty soon, they're going to die. The antis don't understand this. If you don't, I'm going to try to explain it to you. Because we're going to lose all our critters. It's not going to be good. I'll be right back. We'll talk about that. So being a spring, that water's fairly cool. Boy, it's full of minutes because there's nowhere else for them to be right now. And it keeps itself flushed out to a degree. It seeps down through there, it kind of loses itself. It's called a losing creek, and water stays underground as much as anything else. There's a lot more of that nowadays with too much gravel in our creeks. That is as healthy a water as you can get this time of year, especially in the drought situation we're in. We are in a horrible drought. The last time that it was this dry was 2012. In 2012, we started off with a wetter spring we did this year. We've had somewhere under 5 inches of rain here in central Missouri. You go very far north, very far south, it's fine. I think mostly. We can see it from here sometimes, 100 miles away. You can see them booming thunderstorms, we just aren't getting them. And here's how this works with antis and the tree huggers, the animal lovers, which I am the biggest animal lover of them all. But here's what they don't understand, is that water can be poison to wildlife. And that's actually a pretty decent hole of water because there's another spring right around the bend, but it won't stay quite that full. All that scum, all that crap, all that muck holds critters. It holds small microscopic type animals that can hurt other animals. We get that blue tongue, a little midge that gets in their nose. It's not transferable from animal to animal. It usually happens here towards early fall, but that's not the point. That happens no matter how good a creek is, because it just happens. It's worse when the water dries up like this. What happens is this. With less and less and less water, more and more animals use the same pools of water to drink from. Picture this. Any given night or day, whatever, there's several raccoon and deer use this pool of water. One of them gets sick. Say a raccoon gets distemper or rabies, worse yet. They come and drink from this water, especially when they're sick. They come here, first off, and instantly the animals around them get sick also. Same thing, food sources. Food dries up, same thing happens. The other thing that happens is animals die. They come to the water, they're sick, they're not feeling good. They come to the water to drink, and they die in the water. And guess what that does? Rotten, stinking, bloated corpses, that just makes more poison water. It's just a fact. In 2012, on this very stretch of creek, you couldn't hardly stand the smell for the dead critters. Raccoons, skunks, and possums up one side, and deer up and down the other, with other things mixed in between. Horrible. And it's going to happen again, because that's what Mother Nature does when you have too many critters and not enough good conditions to support them, and that's where we're at right now. The crops are drying up, deer eating the tops off of everything. Still some green grass in places because we're at the edge of the creek, but once you get above this creek, there's no green grass. But the water is what saves everything. Water is the most important part, and this water's nasty. It's going to get worse unless we get some rain. Here's what the antis don't understand. That's why we hunt. That's why we trap. To help keep animal populations in a controlled number that they can survive things like this. It's not going to happen because nobody's trapping. I'm the only guy I know around here And I sure ain't trapping enough critters to make a difference. Deer hunters, oh man, we got them. Everybody loves hunting them deer. I mean, I like eating the deer. But get this. Well, I'm going to wait and shoot does later. I'm hunting a big buck. Wow, it don't happen. My experience, they hunt that big buck hard. Maybe some during bow season. Rifle season comes, they hunt the big buck. They put all that time in, it don't happen. And either they get bored with it or their wife gets bored with it and they quit hunting. And they don't shoot those does. And we are loaded with deer in central Missouri. There's as many deer in this part of the state as anywhere else. We got too many deer. We're not going to have things change like this. So we're going to have a bunch of deer dying of disease because they don't have enough good water to share from unless something changes. 2012, same way. 2012, this water hole, was a half this size, but it was deeper then. But it doesn't matter. It's still going to be poisoned water because there's not another stretch of water like this for probably a half mile. Same thing going the other way. I don't even know. There's a nice spring a quarter mile downstream, but there's no real holes of water. There's a place that a few animals can drink from time to time to get fresh water, but the antis don't get that. That's why a concerned, knowledgeable, and respectful sportsman, that's why we do this. At least that's why you ought to be doing it. We need to harvest enough animals to keep disasters from happening. Now, you can't help the weather. That's between God and whatever. But we have too many critters because nobody's doing anything about it. The antis are jumping up and down the aisles. They're just so happy. They're singing hallelujah because we're not killing critters. Trapping is way down, and trappers are way more effective than hunters at controlling wildlife populations, way more. I mean, good coon hunters do their share too, but I only know a handful of coon hunters anymore. Why would you keep a $1,000+ coon dog plus all the vet bills and everything else that happens when you get $2 for a raccoon? That's their thinking, and I can't fault them for it. There's some of them still hunt them and harvest the coon, but not very many. And that's where we're at. And I don't be a big doomsayer and a big negative guy, but that's what it is. The antis are crazy. They're idiots. They don't understand. It'll start happening pretty soon. It's the middle of July. It was the middle of August last year when this very stretch of creek I'm on right now is arrowhead hunting here, 2012. And you couldn't, the smell was atrocious. It was horrible. Even for some redneck like me who smelly stuff don't bother usually. That's what it's all about, y'all. It's just, this is pure fact. It's nothing made up, no speculation, no dramatization. It is what it is. Animals die horrible deaths. Sometimes way worse than that at the hand of man. I'm afraid it's going to happen here again. Just my thoughts, y'all. There's one of these kind of poison holes I talk about. There's no water for several hundred yards. There's been critters in it. There's tracks, coon tracks all around it. Got maybe some squirrels there. It's the only water to drink. It's handy. They're not going to go a long ways. That water's almost black. And it's dropped quite a bit today. You can see where the snails are at. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about there, y'all. It's a real deal. Not a good deal either. I had a comment on YouTube, my YouTube channel last summer. I don't remember. Anyway, I was talking about how bad otter can be, and that, I'm a trapper. I think I was an arrowhead hunting video to start with, whatever. And some guy comes on and says, Dale, I really like your arrowhead hunting stuff, but I'm going to unsubscribe because how mean you are to otters and bobcats. Oh, I wonder if he still watches my crap at all. I hope not. I hope it don't happen. It wouldn't take but a few inches of rain to flush these creeks out and help us a bunch. And they're talking maybe chance night. They've been saying that for weeks. God bless y'all. Thanks for watching. Don't worry about them antis. They're not very smart. We're smarter than they are.